Hi, everyone. My name is Barry Heidowitz. I'm a director here at Extreme Labs. I'll share my contact info in the chat. And what I'll also do is I'll include helpful information about where the recording of this webinar will be posted. I'll put that in there now. There is a Q&A section that can be used where you can post questions, and I'll share them with the presenter, with Juan, as time permits. Otherwise, you can also put questions in the chat or send them to me directly. So there's the information on the webinar. Here's my contact info in the chat if there are any questions or concerns about Extreme Labs, content, or services. You can reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to help or point you in the right direction of the people that can help you. And with that, what I'll do is I'll hand things over to Juan. Thanks, Juan.
Thank you, Barry. Welcome, everyone. You can hear me? Okay, so let me share my screen. Please let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, welcome to this webinar, to this session. Basically, today we will be working with Copilot Studio and AI. We will talk about how we can create agents to create automated processes and help our users to do a specific task with these agents. Okay, so this will be about Copilot Studio, and we will learn how to create these agents. My name is Juan Vazquez. I am a Microsoft certified trainer. I've been a trainer for almost 25 years. I hold several certification for Power Platform as a consultant, developer, architect, some other certifications like PL300 with Power BI, robotic process automation. And I've been delivering training for a few years now. So today, feel free to contact in LinkedIn. Here is my address in LinkedIn, my profile. So today we'll be talking about Copilot Studio. Okay, but first, before we go with Copilot Studio, we need to understand what is Copilot. Okay, so basically, Copilot is some services or a product that gives the users the ability or give us the ability to assist human with a complex task. Okay, basically using natural language within a chat or an agent, we can help the user to do a specific task. Obviously, we can have very simple agents or more complex agents. Depending on the task we want to help the user with, that will be the complexity of our agent, right? So Copilot Studio allows us to create customized Copilot or agents, right? And that's what we will be working with today. Okay, but first, probably most of you have seen this specific graphic where we have all the products that are part of Power Platform, okay? Whether you are using Power BI to create a business intelligence solution, or probably you're using Power Apps to create application for your users, or probably Power Automate to create processes or create automated processes. These are part of Power Platform, okay? But within these products, you also have Copilot Studio that will let you create intelligent copilots or agents, and you can help internal users or external users. Same with Power Pages. But the difference is with Power Pages, you create websites, and with Copilot Studio, you create agents that you can either publish in different channels like probably your website or probably your social networks. And then you can just create the agent and then publish in all these channels. Okay. And that's what we will be seeing today. But when you are creating these agents, sometimes you need to have access probably to Dataverse or probably SQL Server, some other databases. And that's when you might need to use Power Automate to connect your Copilot or your agent to your data sources. Okay. And also you can integrate AI using AI Builder. And this is really straightforward because basically all these models for AI are easy to integrate with AI Builder. So it's really straightforward. And obviously, you might want to learn Power Effects to create formulas and functions or use functions in your application. You need connectors. But the idea here is that basically what you want to do is you first need to design your agent, understand which tasks you will allow the users to do with this agent, and then you can start creating your agent. And that's what we will be seeing today. Okay. Now, with Copilot Studio, you can create your own copilots. And like I said, it's really important that we design that agent in advance so we have a better idea of what we want to uh, which task we want to allow the users to do and which data sources we want to connect to. And we're creating our own agents, and actually we can extend our copilot with either AI Builder, or probably we want to use other services like Azure AI into our Copilot. Okay, so the idea here is that we have different options to create a simple agent or a more complex agent using Copilot Studio. Okay, and obviously we have different levels of topics in the conversation. When you start creating this agent, you need to create your own topics. And basically, this is part of the conversation. And a topic could be a part of the conversation where the user probably want to order a product or want to ask a specific question about a product. That is when we start creating our own topics, and that is the first part of the conversation. But what happened if the user has a specific question, and probably we want to use generative AI and to respond to these specific questions? We can use either GPT models or we can create our own models, probably using AI Builder or Azure AI services. That is the second stage of the conversation. When a topic is not found, probably we want to go to the second stage and start responding to the user with automatic answers based on these models. Okay, and the last part of the conversation is if we don't have an answer to the question or to the task that the user needs, basically we can escalate to a human agent. And that's where we want to design what will happen when we don't have an answer or a topic that will help the user. Okay, so that's what we need to do. And like I said, with Copilot Studio, we can create our own copilots, or actually we can extend copilots for other products. And we can use different services. We can integrate those services like Azure AI Studio, Cognitive Services, Power Platform connectors, and that will help us create more advanced or more complex agents. Okay, so here, what you need to start is you need to create this design for your agent, and then you want to start using Copilot Studio to implement the agent. And basically, the process is I would add a first step here, like creating the design or designing the agent, and then we can start creating the Copilot, and that probably could take a few minutes to start. And then every time you need to add another task, probably you want to create a new topic. And then when you're done creating your agent, then you want to start publishing your agent to different channels. Like I said, you can publish in your website, or you can go to social networks, or if that is probably an internal agent, probably you want to add to the teams. So that depends on the needs, right? And finally, when after you publish your agent, you can start monitoring the use of your agent and figuring out if the agent needs additional information, like probably you want to include a few websites to provide the agent with more knowledge, depending on the answers, or probably how many conversations are dropped. That's when you start improving your agent, right? So this is basically a process where you start creating the copilot. You need to figure out what is the knowledge that the copilot will have. And then after you start creating it, you probably want, like I said, you want to acknowledge when you have a copilot, like here, this is Copilot Studio, you have different elements as part of your copilot, one of them being knowledge. Okay, so probably you want to add, like I did here, I have a bunch of different PDF. This is information that the copilot will integrate as part of the knowledge. So here, what I did before is integrate this PDF into the copilot. Okay, and let me show you what I added to this copilot. 1 second. So this PDF have information about the coffee machines that we want to provide to our internal users, probably employees or some other user profiles. But here, once you have that, what you need to do is you want to add those into your Copilot. So here I'm going to show you what I added to my Copilot. A second. So here I will show you the PDF. So I have a bunch of different machines. So what I did was add this PDF to my agent, to my Copilot. But I did this in advance because it takes a few minutes to understand what these files are, what information they have. So here, if I go to my Copilot, when I create the Copilot, you have a test your agent pane, where you basically have the conversation and you can start testing your agents here. Like once I add it, I can ask my agent, hey, can you give me a list of coffee machines? And based on the knowledge that our agent has, it will respond the user and provide a few options. Here, this is where I get the information. It gave me a few options, and actually it gives me the reference to where the information was taken from here. So when you have this information, you can add different knowledge to your copilot, to your agent. And here you have more knowledge that you can integrate here. Right now, you could add different tables, or you can look for additional knowledge. If you click here in add knowledge, you will be able to add public website. You could actually get information from SharePoint. You could, and this is added recently, you could add your database tables into your Copilot. So that will be taking information from all these sources, and it will be able to answer different questions based on the knowledge that we provided to this Copilot. So it is important that when we start creating our agent or our Copilot, we have uh, an idea of what information we will include in the knowledge source so it can answer the questions for the users. So once you start doing that, you have the first step, you have knowledge, and then you can start creating your own topics. And the topics are another part of your Copilot where you probably want to uh, help the user to perform different actions like, hey, can I order a new machine? Or can you give me the status for my order? That's what we want to do here. And like I said, it's important that when we start creating our Copilot, we have an idea of or a list of tasks that the Copilot will be doing for the users. Okay, so if we go here to this Copilot, and you go to this second tab here, you can see the topics. As soon as you create your topic, depending on the language you choose, it will create some topics like the greeting, the goodbye, thank you. But you can start creating your own topics here. And here it's really important because you can create a topic from scratch. You can click here and you can start creating, like I said, from scratch, or you can use Copilot to create your own topics. Okay, like here, if I go back to topics, and you want to create a topic using Copilot, you can go here, create from description with Copilot, and then you can give it a name like, hey, I want a topic name, create order, and then you can create new order, the name you want for this topic. Remember, a topic is a part of the conversation that will lead to an outcome, either creating a new order or giving the status of the order. That's up to you. Here you could say, hey, I want a new topic so the user can request a new machine. You need to ask the machine name, the color, user email, and then probably I don't know, probably just and the justification for the order, for the request. Once you do that, you can click here on create, and it will try to create the topic. And probably what it will do is it will automatically create all the questions, okay? The questions that you specify when creating when describing the topic, it will start creating. But take a look, not only that, it also created a few phrases that will trigger this topic as part of the conversation. So when the user says or enters, start a new order, this topic will be triggered. And then it automatically created the question like here, what type of machine do you need? It created some variables that will hold information where the response of the users will be stored. And then probably it started, and then probably what we need to do is, okay, we have all the information required to order the machine, but then we need to create the process. And here is where you probably need to create a Power Automate flow that will create the order for the user. I will show you that a bit later. Okay, so topics are important, are probably one of the most important parts of the topic, because we will create the actions that the user will be able to execute. Okay, and then once you finish with the design and the creation of the copilot, you will be able to publish and this copilot in different channels, and that is basically here in the. I'm not going to save this. It's okay. I'm going to go here to channels where once you're done and you're ready with your copilot, uh, you can publish this copilot in different channels. Like if you want to publish in your demo website, or I mean in your website, this will give you the HTML like an iframe where you will be able to publish in your website, or you want to publish in Teams or Slack or any other channels available, you will be able to do so here. But probably if you want to publish in your website, that is not an internal agent, then probably you might want to go to authentication settings here, and probably you say, hey, I don't want this topic to be authenticated, or and that way you will be able to have a public agent, or that's what depending on your needs. So here, if I go here, I can take a look, and then again in channels, if I want to click here on demo website, first you need to publish, and the process to publish your agent is really straightforward. I mean, once the agent is published, you will be able to see the demo website, and you will be able to take a look at the copilot embedded in your website. In this case, in a demo website. So probably it's taking a few minutes. So let's give it a minute. So that is the other part of the process, and then finally, or not finally, but the last step of the first stage is basically analyze and improve your agent. And here is where you want to monitor and see what happened with this agent, and figure out if probably you might want to add new documents to the knowledge base, where probably, hey, what are the policies to return an item or a machine, and probably you want to include this additional knowledge to your copilot. Let me take a look, and it's already published. So if I go here, custom website, you will see that you have the HTML code to include in your website, or you can take a look here and open a new page, and you will be able to see the copilot working in a demo website here. And probably I need a list of machines, and that will respond to my question. Here I have the same response. So what we are doing here is, and then you, like I said, you want to analyze how this agent is performing, and then you have a lot of settings here that you can configure. Like I said, you can take a look at the statistics for this agent. I mean, I just published this, so probably we won't have a lot of information here. So I will show you that later. Now, with this agent that I'm showing here, you can add additional services, different knowledge bases. Actually, you could create your own models and integrate into your agent. So finally, you publish this agent, and this is the process that you will be doing over and over again to improve your agent, your copilot. So we have different cases, user cases, where probably it's B2C, where you want to provide customer support about the user ordering a product, or probably returning the product, or providing information about the account, asking, probably the user is asking questions about the different services, Or you can, in a B2B, probably have interaction with your suppliers, lead qualification, and your B2 to enterprise. Probably you have the human resources agent where you can respond to questions like how many days of vacations I have, or about expense management. That's what the different user cases are, and as I'm pretty sure you already have imagined different areas where you can integrate this agent. Obviously, you can have these guides where you will be able to take a look at the sign of the uh, agent, and then you can fill this form to figure out if you have a good design or some practices. This is a good document that you can download to follow and implement the best practice in your agents. Okay, so like I say, one of the important part of the process is understand what the agent will be doing. And this is what we imagine when we start creating an agent. Okay, so basically, when we think about a conversation with an agent, we think, hey, what's up? And just the copilot answering, hey, all good. And then success. But in reality, the reality is this: you have a user asking different questions or jumping from one topic to the other. And this is where you want to create a good design. And because basically this is what a conversation would look like, not the other one. It's not a straight path. It's basically the user, like I said, the user asking a question, then trying to execute an action. And that is where we want to add validation to the process, making sure you handle the errors. That's part of the process. Okay. And like we've been saying, is we need to think about the bots. We need to figure out where we will be publishing the bot, about which language we will be using, English, Spanish. Okay, do we want to add generative AI or not? Because if you add that here, like when you are in the bot and you go to settings, then you have this option where you can let the agent use this AI to respond to the user question. But what if we don't want this to happen, and we just want to focus on our products and nothing else? So probably you want to restrict this feature for our bot. So it's important to, when we are creating the design or when we are designing our agent, define if we want the bot to go outside our knowledge base and take additional information from other sources. So it's important, this configuration, because that will give the agent more knowledge, but probably it's outside of the scope that we want to so we want to keep this out of our agent, this feature out. That's what we want to figure out in advance. So with this number of channels growing, or more additional higher demands, we might want to include these AI sources or knowledge base integrated into our agent or not. Probably you don't. And then that's when you want to decide if you want these generative answers, or probably you would just want to create your topics and just add a few documents for your bot. That's part of the decisions that we need to make. So like I said, you want to go to settings and enable this option or disable, depending on what you need. Okay, so the bot will be able to create these answers based on these data sources or language models. It's important that we define. So before we start, these are a few questions that we may want to respond so we have a better idea of what the bot will do. Okay, we want to understand which language our users speak, or if we want only to respond to questions about our product or services, what is the probably the language that we will be using, or who is our customer, probably the demographic of our customers, the age, and all those um, questions are important to define the personality of our agent, right? We want to know when we want to send a conversation to a human, and clearly understand the request for our customers. Okay, so like I said, you need to figure out the personality, if that is an informal conversation or probably it's a formal conversation, that will depend. And also, what kind of questions the user will ask, like what is, when will, why. Those are informational questions. The user is looking for just a response. And or if we want the user to execute the task, I want to, how do I, that will let the bot know that they want to execute a specific task. Or we want to help the user with the problem, that's troubleshooting. So this is part of the topic design. Okay, what we need to do is identify the topic, create all the list of tasks or scenarios, and then design this conversation. And obviously, this is we want to iterate about in this task over and over again and improve our copilot. Okay, and these are some characteristics or qualities of a good conversation. It's goal-oriented, it's fast, it's polite. This is part of the design of our bot. And obviously, we want to define and create a design of this agent. The most important part of the design is who the user is. Okay, what is the user looking for while having a conversation with our agent. Okay, this is important. Who is the user? What types of conversation they will be having with our agent? Okay, and where this conversation will take place. It's in our website, it's in Teams. That's also information, that's important information. And obviously, design with the user in mind. That's the most important. Okay, because when the user is talking to our bot, they know they are not talking to a person, but we cannot get rid of the emotional response. Okay, the frustration when we don't provide a good answer to the question or what they are looking for. That is also, we need to keep that in mind. Okay, and like I said, we need to allow the user to discover our bot. Where is it? How can they find? It's in our website, or where is that, right? So we basically need to focus on the user, okay? We need to give actionable and unambiguous prompt, okay? We need to acknowledge and affirm. When we are executing a task for the user, we need to let them know that we are working on it, because probably when he said, I want a new machine, but we start asking questions, he or she will be providing the answers. And when you start creating the order, you need to let them know, okay, we are working on that order, okay, because also time is important. The time where we respond to the user is important. We need to be clear and concise. Okay, so here are some of the best practices. We need to understand the user, keep it simple, be inclusive. The personality, like I said, is formal, informal. That is really, really important when we start creating this agent. So I'm going to show you like a bot that I created. And basically this bot is for this company named Contoso Coffee. And it's basically for the users to send an order. I have an application, model-driven application created. And when the user interacts with the bot, they basically will ask about the coffee machines. They might want to get a list. Give me a list of coffee machines. Since our agent already has information for the different machines, we added a lot of different technical sheets here, and this will respond and will give the user the reference of where the information was taken from. Okay, so here the user gets this list, and then the user will be able to ask for additional information like, hey, give me more details about the crema cafe machine. And then the bot will be able to use the knowledge base, and then based on that, it will respond to the question. Hey, this is the machine, this is the price, and it will give you more details about the machine, how many cups per week, how many espressos per week, and that will give the reference. Okay. Now, when you are here, you might want to create the different topics. So I created another topic, a new topic here, named machine order. When I click here, I have this agent and I have the phrases that will trigger the order or this topic. You can edit this topic here and add additional, like, please, a new machine. Please send me a new machine. Send me new machine. And that will be part of the phrases that will trigger this topic. Okay, now I have clear variables because I want to have all the variables ready to start the process. And then I send a message, like I said, hey, sure, I can help you with that. Then I can start adding questions. You can add different tasks here. When you click here, you start adding different, like send messages, ask questions, conditions, and you can set variables or different, or even you can send to different topics or end the conversation, forward the topic to a different topic. So that's here, basically, we're saying, give me the name of the machine you need. We are saving that in a variable name, machine name. You can have variables at the topic level, or you can have a global variables. When this information will be used in different topics, you can configure this as a global variable. Okay, and then the second question is which color. We save it in a machine color variable, and then we have the email. Okay, I changed this to a global variable because I will be creating a new topic for feedback. So when the user enters the email, I will be able to get this information in a different topic. And then I need a justification for the order. And finally, I'm sending a message. Hey, I'm creating the order for you. Like I said, this is important. We need to let the user know, hey, I'm doing this. And then you can start creating Power Automate flows. What you want to do here is you can click here, add an action, and then you can start creating a new Power Automate flow here, and that will take you to the Power Automate Designer where you will be creating this topic. I already created the topic. the flow, and it's named new order from Copilot. Obviously, I'm mapping my variables in the agent. I'm mapping to the input of my flow. If I go to that specific flow, it's here in my solution. 1 second, we will be opening, and I go to Contoso Coffee Solution. I go to Cloud Flows, and then I have a new order from Copilot. I created this previously, so I'm showing you what it does. And basically, we create the input. When we start the topic, we need the machine name, the machine color, username, and comments or justification. And then here we create an answer variable because we want to respond to the user. And then here I'm getting the machine that the user needs. I'm filtering, and these machines are stored in Dataverse. So using fetch XML, basically I'm saying, hey, I need this machine, the machine name, the variable, and the machine color. Once I do that, I get the machine. And here I have the action to insert a new row in our Dataverse, in a table. So that's machine orders. I send the comments, the machine name, and the price, because I pull the price, and here is the reference to that machine. So here I'm adding to the comments what the user sent from the Copilot. So here, when the user says, hey, I knew a new machine, it will ask me, hey, sure, what machine do you want? Probably I should create a list here, but I'm sending the name, airport, and I have the white available in white. Airport, it asks me the color, white, right? So the user is answering the questions for the agent, the email, the and the justifications. I need is for the IT department. Okay, so the agent start creating the order, and it will return the order number, and that's part of the flow. If we take a look, after the order is inserted, we get the order number here. It's automatically created, and then we respond to the Copilot. We created a variable here, and we have the response, the order number here, and then that's where we get this order number. So we have another topic where where the user can ask about the status, order status here. So if we go to that specific topic here, in topics, okay, like order status, the bot will ask you, hey, sure, give me what's the order number, and that will tell you, hey, your order has not been approved yet. If the user goes here and the person approving this order, they can say, okay, please go ahead, and approves. It will change the status for the order. And if the user asks again, what is the order status? I will give you the same number. And now we have a different status, okay? The order is approved and will be delivered by this date. Now, if you want to add AI, you can use AI Builder. Like, hey, I want to create a new topic, and this topic will ask the user for feedback. So here I have another topic here, user feedback. And this topic, instead of being triggered by a phrase, it will be triggered by another topic redirecting to this. So I don't have any phrases, but I ask for feedback, and then I have the user feedback variable, and then I call another method, another Power Automate flow named user feedback flow. Here, if we take a look at that topic, here we can go here, user feedback. We have another flow, and if we go back to that flow, I included some an AI model. Okay, so if I go to these flows and I look for what is it? User feedback flow, and I edit it, I'm sending the feedback from the user and the email. This is a global variable. And then I'm using an AI builder model named analyze positive or negative sentiment. So I'm passing as the parameter the user feedback, and then I'm getting a response with the sentiment. Okay, so here I have the overall text sentiment. I'm saving the user feedback and the user email in a new table named user feedback. So what I need to do is I need to call this a new topic from the order when the user requests the new machine. After the order is created, we want to ask for some feedback. So I go back to the machine order. I click here. After I send the message with the order ID, I can redirect to the topic management, go to another topic, and then I look for user feedback topic. So here, when I save it and I create a new order, you give me a list. Let's give me a list of coffee machines. Oh, give me, wait, I will order a new machine. Okay, machine. I will get information about it. Like, okay, here are the coffee machines. So I'm gonna ask for additional information. Give me more details about okay. And I would be able to request a new order. Okay. Okay, so new machine. Okay. Here we have this information. It's requesting for, it's asking about the machine name. The color, it's available in red. So red, the email. And then after the order is created, we will be sent to this new topic, the user feedback topic. And then we can say, okay, your machines are great. And I love this agent. That will call this continue. And then we have your feedback was received. And if we take a look at the table, here we have a new feedback where we have the sentiment or what the user, the analysis of what the user said about our services. So we have a positive sentiment. This was returned by the AI model. And then we have the text or the content that the user sent. feedback content, save, and we have that information here. So here is how you can integrate different AI models into your agents and start simplifying the different tasks for you or your user. So that's how different elements are integrated into an agent. We talk about knowledge sources, we talk about topics, variables, we connected this to a database. We use an AI model with AI Builder to analyze the sentiment. And that's how you can start creating these agents in order to simplify the processes or help the users with different tasks in your different agents. Okay, so that's the demo I wanted to show you. I'm not sure if you have any questions. Yeah.